We'll call this council meeting to order at 6 p.m. Need a motion for adoption of the minutes, please.
Resolved that the minutes of the regular meeting of council held at City Hall on Monday, June 25th, 2018 be adopted as circulated.
Moved by Councillor Buds and seconded by Councillor Espy. All those in favor? And that's carried. We have no delegations, but before we move into our first hearing, I just want to introduce a new face at the table tonight. Down at the far end, sitting beside Chief Carpenter, is Inspector Jared St. Pierre. Inspector St. Pierre was raised in Winnipeg, attended Devry Institute of Technology for Business Operations and the Asper School of Business. He's been with the RCMP for 19 years, with postings to St. Rose, Wasagamig, Powerview, Treeherne, Carberry, Killarney, and now Portage la Prairie. He has over 9 years of extensive commander experience, including 3 years as an area commander. He's been involved in labor relations, the tactical group, the underwater recovery team, and the division interview team. And he was also part of the initial group that started the Westman Hub program, as well as initiating and supporting numerous restorative justice programs. Jared is married and has 3 kids. He is enthusiastically looking forward to living in the city of possibilities, and we are excited to have him on our team. Please give Inspector St. Pierre a warm Portage welcome. We'll move into hearings. We'll open the public hearing for conditional use PC 45-18. This is for Jenna Balakowski at 648 2nd Street Northwest. Is there anyone here to speak in favor or opposed to the application? Your name, ma'am?
Jenna.
And did you just want to answer questions or did you want to speak to it?
I'll just answer questions.
Okay. Did council have any questions for the applicant? None? Okay. Need a motion to close the hearing?
Resolved that the public hearing for conditional use PC 45-18, Jenna, I'm sorry, I did not practice saying your last name, 648 2nd Street Northwest now be closed.
Moved by Councillor Dreger and seconded by Councillor Fraze. All those in favor? And that's carried.
Okay, the issue that we're voting on tonight is to allow for a home daycare center in an R1 residential single-family zone. Jenna Balachowski has applied for a conditional use to allow for a home daycare in R1 residential single-family zone. The application was circulated to various city departments with no concerns, and public notices have been sent to all property owners within a 100-meter radius. It is the recommendation that the Council of the City of Portage la Prairie approve the conditional use application of Jenna Balachowski to allow for home daycare in an R1 residential single-family zone at the property 648 2nd Street Northwest, which is legally described as lots 3839, Block 3, Plan 343, Parish of Portage la Prairie.
Moved by Councillor Dreger and seconded by Councillor Fraze. Any questions or comments on the motion? All those in favor of the motion? And that's carried. We'll open the public hearing for variation PC 49-18. This is for Rona Portage at 2450 Saskatchewan Avenue West. Is there anyone here to speak in favor of or opposed to the application? Okay. Need a motion to close the hearing?
Resolved that the public hearing for variation PC 49-18 Rona Portage 2450 Saskatchewan Avenue West now be closed.
Moved by Councillor Dreger and seconded by Councillor Fraze. All those in favor? And that's carried.
Rona Portage is applying for a variation order to vary the restriction of no fence in a front yard and to allow a fence compound to be constructed in the front yard for lumber and materials, and the maximum height of a front yard fence be varied as well. The building is in a C4 planned regional shopping zone. The application has been circulated to various city departments with no concerns. Public notices have been sent to all property owners within a 100-meter radius. It is the recommendation that the Council of the City of Portage la Prairie approve the variation request of Rona Portage to vary the restriction of a no fence in a front yard and allow a fence compound to be constructed in the front yard for lumber and materials, and the maximum height of a front yard fence from the required 1 meter to be increased to 2.44 meters at the property known as 2450 Saskatchewan Avenue West, which is legally described as Lot 1, Block 3, Plan 1810, Parish of Portage la Prairie. And I so move.
Moved by Councillor Dreger and seconded by Councillor Buds. Any questions or comments on the motion? All those in favor of the motion? And that's carried. That concludes our hearings. We'll move right into committees. First up is Finance, Legislative and Property Committee. Councillor Buds, please.
Thank you. So those councillors from last meeting do remember this in committee, and it was basically to accept the offer to purchase to consider selling a very small portion of land, 3.25 feet approximately by almost 100 feet, adjacent to Rachel Saltise's property on 421 2nd Street Northwest. And so basically 6.75 feet of that 10 feet on that Google picture, if you scroll down, belongs to Mrs. Saltise already, and she's looking to purchase the extra 3.25. And I think an item of question along committee was the fact that she does intend to build a new fence along there. What happens to the existing chain link fence, which is city property? And so is there new information with regards to that portion of fencing?
Through your worship to Councillor Buds, the fence that she's going to build is going to be built where the chain link fence is. The chain link fence will be removed. We're still determining if that will be, she's offered to remove it, although operations is looking if they can recycle the material, and she's offered to turn that to them if they want the material.
In any event, Council is under the knowledge that it will not require a cost to the city to do that. It is portion that will Mrs. Saltise will deal with, and if we take it out, we're obviously going to try and reuse it. So you can see the recommendation is for us to move forward. So it is the recommendation of the committee, and I so move that the Council of the City of Portage la Prairie approve the sale of approximately 3.25 feet by 99.3 feet strip of the city-owned property legally described as lots 571/574, Plan 66 that runs adjacent to 421 2nd Street Northwest to Ricky and Rochelle Saltise for the purchase price of $1,026.35 plus all other costs related to the sale.
Moved by Councillor Buds and seconded by Councillor Wall. Any questions or comments on the motion? All those in favor of the motion? And that's carried.
And that does conclude my committee report.
Thank you, Councillor Buds. Councillor Dreger, City Planning and Economic Development Committee.
One item on the agenda this evening, and that is the presentation of the May Portage la Prairie Planning District permit totals. I assume they were presented at council meeting 2 weeks ago. I wasn't here, but as I've said before, from previous months this year especially, these totals have been on the incline, and I'm happy to see that they continue in that direction. And that concludes my report.
Thank you, Councillor Dreger. Community Services Committee, Councillor Fraze, please.
Thank you, Worship. Community Service Committee has nothing tonight.
Thank you. Councillor Wall, Waterworks Committee.
Waterworks Committee has nothing this evening, Your Worship.
Thank you. Councillor Draycott, Transportation Committee.
Thank you, Your Worship. Nothing for transportation this evening.
Thank you. Councillor Espy, the Public Safety Committee.
Thank you, Your Worship. The Public Safety Committee has nothing to report.
Thank you. We have no deferred business. However, we do have some new business. First up is the award of 20th Street Southwest Wastewater Sewer Renewal Contract, and this is Waterworks Committee. Councillor Wall, please.
Yes, Your Worship. The award of the tender for the construction of 20th Street Southwest Wastewater Sewer Renewal Contract is the issue here. There were two bids, Toll Construction Limited and EF Moon. Toll was the successful proponent with 100 points out of 100 points. in the analysis. The tender was advertised in the Daily Graphic on the city's webpage, on MERCS, with the Construction Association of Rural Manitoba, and with the Winnipeg Construction Association. Local contractors were contacted. 2 tenders were received for opening on Tuesday, June 19, 2018. Sustainability factors and pricing were evaluated and are listed above. The pre-tender estimate for this work was $207,000, and the low bid net of GST rebate is $185,055. The contract consists of the following work: 223 meters of 250 millimeter PVC pipe, sewer services, manhole work, restoration work. This project will be funded from the 2018 wastewater sewer renewal budget of $275,000, and the contractor has indicated the work will begin in September with final asphalt repair to be done in 2019. The administrative recommendation is, and I so move, that the Council of the City of Portage la Prairie award the 20th Street Southwest wastewater sewer renewal contract as specified in tender 18 OPS 019 to Toll Construction Limited for the tendered price of $194,308.80, including taxes.
Moved by Councillor Wall and seconded by Councillor Grieger. Any questions or comments on the motion? All those in favor of the motion? And that's carried. Next, I have a new business, is the award of the tender for janitorial services at city facilities, and this is Finance, Legislative, Property Committee. Councillor Buds, please.
Thank you. Just for our decision-making is to award a tender for, as we mentioned, the janitorial services. So there was a tender that was advertised. 8 tender packages were either picked up or emailed, with 5 companies submitting packages for the deadline. Of the 5 received, 3 proponents did not meet the minimum requirements and did not move through the pricing stage, so we were down to 2. And as you can see, the rated average combined score pricing and other factors was Taylor Janitorial with 99 points and B Clean Janitorial with 91. References were contacted and there were no issues reported, and Taylor Janitorial is a local company comprised of approximately 30 full and part-time employees. There was a budget number for the 12-month period, and this is slightly above that budget number, but something that we can still work with. It is a recommendation of the committee, and I so move that the Council of the City of Portage la Prairie award the tender for janitorial services for the city facilities 18 OPS 022 to Taylor Janitorial for the tender price of $161,935, including GST.
Moved by Councillor Buds and seconded by Councillor Wall. Any questions or comments on the motion? All those in favor of the motion? And that's carried. Our next item is the award of detailed design and contract administration services for the Industrial Park Water Supply Main Reconstruction. And this is Waterworks Committee. Councillor Wall, please.
Yes, Your Worship. The City of Portage la Prairie issued a request for proposals for consulting services for the design and contract administration of a section of the Industrial Park Water Supply Main. The city's industrial park is located in the northeast sector of Portage la Prairie. The area is serviced with a 450 millimeter diameter ductile iron water supply main from 1977 and a 450 millimeter PVC water main installed in 2016. The ductile iron water main has experienced several breaks over the years due to deteriorating pipe. The section of pipe experiencing breaks is routed through the middle of a housing complex between 6th Avenue and Scott Avenue. Repairs are difficult due to the existing buildings and utilities in the immediate vicinity. A break in this water main causes disruptions with residents in the area as well as the industries in the park. The scope of work completed by the consultants shall comprise of the following noted tasks. The proponent should make every effort to identify other tasks that may, if acceptable to the City of Portage, have a positive impact on the project. The successful consultant will be expected to coordinate all activities and tasks within the City of Portage la Prairie. The engineering service contract will be administered and directed by the City of Portage la Prairie. And there's a list of 10 general engineering services requirements. and some specific requirements. The specifics are investigating options for routing the existing water supply main, a complete topographical survey of the selected route using GPS and UTM coordinate systems, design all aspects of the proposed water supply line, including material type, tie-in details, valving, air release valves, fire hydrants, locations, cleaning structures, alignment, and construction methods. Prepare AutoCAD Civil 3D-based detailed construction drawings. The plan profile drawings shall include all details required to construct the project, vertical scale 1.5, horizontal scale 1.5. Prepare detailed design level cost estimates. 5 proposal packages were sent out and 5 submissions were received and evaluated according to policy ENG-F. The points were awarded as listed below. The successful proponent here was Associated Engineering with a high score of 96 points. The proposal from Associated demonstrated an excellent understanding of the project. All items requested were identified and discussed in sufficient detail. The project team is well qualified and has experience with the City of Portage. This proposal identified 5 meetings with city staff during the project. During the construction phase, contract administration would be on-site full-time. The costs are all itemized here, and a rounded total for this work would be $97,014. The city included funds for this project in the 2018 budget. The administrative recommendation is, and I so move, that the Council of the City of Portage la Prairie award the request for proposals for detailed design and contract administration services for the Industrial Park Water Supply Main reconstruction to Associated Engineering Consultants Incorporated for the proposed fee of $97,014, including taxes.
Moved by Councillor Wall and seconded by Councillor Dreger. Any questions or comments on the motion? All those in favor of the motion? And that's carried. Our next item of business is the award of consulting services. And this is for the detailed design of Crescent Lake Causeway, and this is Transportation Committee. Councillor Draycott, please.
Thank you, Your Worship. This evening, our issue is to award a contract for detailed design and construction contract administration services for Crescent Lake Causeway. So as you all know, the City of Portage la Prairie has issued their request for proposal for consulting services for the detailed design, tender preparation, and construction contract administration for the Crescent Lake Causeway. The scope of the work includes detailed design services for a 3-lane low-level causeway with a culvert structure, including roundabouts at the north and south intersections, and an active transportation pathway. The request for proposal closed and proposals were opened on June 28, 2018. 4 proposal packages were sent out and 2 proposals were received, one from AECOM Canada Limited and one from Samsung Engineering Incorporated. Proposals were evaluated according to policy ENG-F with scoring as follows. AECOM came away with 97 points and Samsung Engineering Incorporated at 85. AECOM received the highest score in the non-financial factors and had the lowest price at $449,271, including $13,916 in disbursements and $33,755 in cost allowances for resident engineering services. The proposal from AECOM demonstrated an excellent understanding of the project with good detail on how the project outcomes would be met. The proposed staff are highly qualified to do the work. The proposal included an optional stakeholder public information session at extra cost, which is not included in the proposal fee, and also included daily full-time inspection during critical construction activities. A total of $2 million has been budgeted for work on Crescent Lake Causeway for 2018. $4 million has been budgeted for 2019 and $800,000 in 2020. This would include the work done in the detailed design contract as well as construction. Administration estimated a cost for the detailed design and construction contract administration to be $640,000. In addition, the City of Portage la Prairie was approved for a grant from the Municipal Bridge Program for detailed design and construction contract administration work for 50% of the total cost, up to a maximum of $320,000. Work for the grant must be completed by March 31st, 2019. The City will not be able to claim the maximum amount approved before the deadline. It is the administrative recommendation that the Council of City of Portage la Prairie award the contract for detailed design of the Crescent Lake Causeway to AECOM Canada Limited for the upset limit price of $449,271 plus PST. And I so move.
Moved by Councillor Draycott and seconded by Councillor Espy. Any questions or comments on the motion? All those in favor? And that's carried. Our final item of new business is the award of a mini pumper, and this is Public Safety Committee. Councillor Espy, please.
Thank you, Your Worship. As you said, the award of the supply of a mini pumper. Request for proposal 2018-001 was issued on June 13th, 2018 for the supply of a mini pumper fire truck. It was advertised on the city's website and was emailed to 4 suppliers. One proposal was received by the closing date of July the 4th, 2018. A rated criteria was completed. The fire department fire truck reserve capital request was $200,000. The truck price as submitted is $198,162.11. The stated price does not include GST but is PST exempt. The city receives a full refund of GST. It is the administrative recommendation, and I so move, that the Council of the City of Portage la Prairie award RFP 2018-001 for the supply of a mini pumper to Acres Industries, Inc., Seahawk Specialized Truck Service for the total cost of $198,162.11 plus GST.
Moved by Councillor Espy and seconded by Councillor Fraze. Any questions or comments on the motion? All those in favor of the motion? And that's carried. We have, that concludes new business. We have no old business, so council will be adjourned at 6:23 p.m. We're going to move right into committee. Committee had no new business on the agenda. I'm just going to double check with committee heads. Is there any business on the floor? Okay. Well, if there's not, then the only item remaining is question period. So we'll open up question period to people in the gallery that would like to ask council a question. Going once for question period? And twice? Okay. Then committee is adjourned at 6:24 p.m. Thank you for coming out, everybody.